Hello everyone, and welcome back to Second Life's Travels. We are at our 15th of our 16 oldest regions look through. We were out of the outskirts of Luskwood, as we were there last time. And you can kind of see from behind me that not much has changed in regards to that. I can't remember if I've used this avatar or not in a previous video, but at this point I'm sort of out of old-time avatars that I have. And, yeah, it doesn't look like anything's really changed at all. Varney here, unfortunately, is not very populated. The huge middle of it, along with one of the corners, is just... there's nothing going on. This entire area that I'm standing on at the moment is for sale, and it goes all across the region in regular shape, so I'm not sure if that might be the reason that it's still not bought up yet, as I originally did the Clara video in late May. If we can see a sign right here that gives a little bit of detail of the mapping, I guess. And it was still like this now, and it's early July, essentially, so I guess nobody's particularly interested in filling this area out, unfortunately, at the moment. It looks like we're on a small plot of land here owned by somebody. Looks like they've made themselves a little home and a pond, and looks like there's even a helicopter on a port over there with a boat. Take a moment to look at the ducks. Some primmy ducks. Oh, there's even fish in the water, too. I didn't see that from across the way, so I'm happy to have looked over here. It's a nice-looking tree. It's the kind of tree I expect around here. Here we have the home, which I won't be going into, but we can go ahead and take a look around the outside for the moment. Laugh and live... and love, I assume that was. Some nice lights along the way there. Home sweet home. I guess we could take a look inside just by looking through the windows, as the entire place seems to have glass walls. It's a nice little welcome mat, though. Ottoman style. Oh, that's a really nice little fountain there. Looks like the water moves very slowly, or maybe that's a trick on my eyes. I'm not quite sure. Got some nice little bird sounds going on here as well. There's a giant monkey over there that's juggling. The map up there can kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about. That entire, just about half of this region is basically open area with nothing going on it. Which I think the last time it was this bad was quite a while ago. I think it was like the 6th or 7th sim that we went to. The one with the art gallery, and I think like half the sim at that time was not in use, and all there was on the other half was the art gallery and basically a marketplace, if I remember correctly. Here we have a boat. This one appears to be one of the older ones, I assume. Maybe not super old. It doesn't look super primmy. And the wing and the top is moving a little bit on the helicopter, just slowly spinning. And over here we have what looks to be a small river of sorts. It seems to cut across into the other regions. Nothing really going on here, I assume. Can see a little bit of a region that we passed by quite a while back. Over by where that castle is going to be our 16th region, which actually looks like it's quite filled out, which I'm happy about. Okay, so let me see where the borderline is. Okay, it looks like the monkey statue is actually here on Varney, so we'll go ahead and take a look at this. So we can see all Flynn's again, which it's been like a year since we've seen this place, and it appears that the building that was once here is no longer here. Because I do remember there being a building here. But it looks like it's been changed to be just to be a cake display, I guess. It looks like Flynn's bar is still here, and I think on the other side the garden is still there. And yep, the monkey's over here juggling. Also see two giant bears hugging in the background there. The monkey looks amazed at what he's doing. Let's go ahead and take a look down here in the water, I guess. A lot of weird landscaping going on. But it looks like this entire region goes out into the infinite ocean. Or, actually, I think there's another sim that way. It looked like infinite ocean, though. Oh, that's a nice little waterfall right here. Very nice. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look around this way, because it looks like there's a bit of stuff around this corner. Got a bus trolley for some reason. Go ahead and just take a look at this. Okay, you can walk through the entire thing. Probably one of those pose objects, I imagine. For photographs, if it's, you can walk through it like that. And here we have a tiny home, fenced off here. It's basically like a shed almost, a large shed. I think that's hair on the ground there. Somebody must have been probably making modifications to it. A little tiny flower there on the table back there. And you can see inside the entire place just by looking at the door here. Seems to be just a basic lounge area, I guess. Which, for some people, that's really all you need in Second Life, is a place to be able to just sit at and when you're not off doing things. This is a nice little chest here. I think it's a chest anyways. It's sort of like I guess a table that you could put stuff into it looks like. Which is a neat concept. We'll go ahead and move out of here and take a further look. It looks like there's some sort of giant pillar of ground that will be coming up to soon here, but it looks like we found what looks like a port almost, I think. Like, that's what I would call this, I think, is somebody working on like a dock or something like that, like a harbor. Lots and lots of poles on the ground here, though. It actually is kind of nice to see that detail for a harbor like that. though there's nothing underneath in the water. There's these arrows, though, which are interesting. I'm guessing it's for some sort of mapping construction or something along those lines. Maybe to know exactly where to put another set of walls along the spot here, I assume, maybe. This actually goes along the side of the entire corner here. It looks like there is that community sim or something along those lines over that way, to the right. I remember seeing that back at Clara when we were there. Looks like it just stops right here, which is fine with me. There appears to be a dolphin here in the water, though it's barely in the water. Just like at the very end of the turn, it goes into the water, otherwise it's like right in the air. That's neat, though. Let's go ahead and take a look up here real quick and see how this looks. It's somebody's bench. That's probably for looking out at the scenery below. Let me see if I can make this look better. Alright, so at the moment I have full distance on, and you can see quite a bit of stuff, although it's slowing down quite a bit to this. You can see at least probably 2 regions outward, I think. Like, you'd see a giant tree off that way, which is further into Luskwood, right in front of us. And then we have this community-looking area off to the right here. And then it looks like way off to the northeast here is perhaps it looks like an airport, perhaps. I'm not quite sure. You can see how many skyboxes are in the sky on any given mainland region, too. Which is kind of the reason I don't ever really walk around with full distance on, is because of that stuff. Okay. Now we can go ahead and continue on. But I kind of wanted to do that because I thought it would be neat to show what it looked like from a distance upward. Not quite sure what this is, though. Looks like there might be land for rent or something along those lines over there, in that green square. This appears to be the workings of some sort of house, though it doesn't look like it's filled out. So I guess we can just take a look inside. I am getting some bad drops going into this house. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what was up with that. And I guess to get upstairs we have to fly up because there's no teleports or anything like that. I guess maybe somebody was making their own house and it's not complete yet. Got little bits of shrubbery around too, which is kind of interesting. We're actually almost fully around Varney here already, to where we started. There's only a handful of more places to look at. Is there anything inside of here? Because I'm not quite sure. Nope, apparently not. So this is just a giant board that's sitting here. I have no idea. Anything in the water? Nope, doesn't look like it. Looks like there is a area here of land, like a weird little bit of land, which kind of goes off the side here, and It's probably like somebody's skybox spot or something along those lines, I would assume. And yet this is a for rent spot here. So not even is there just the giant swath of area that's for sale regularly through the system. There's also this spot here that's not showing up yellow on the map, but it's for sale as well. Over here we can see a bit of clear again. Not too much going on. Nothing has really changed over there at all. Yeah, we're coming up at the last area that we're going to be looking at, which is apparently pretty much what I would call the main attraction of Varney here, which is basically the gardens they have here, which actually look really nice. That's a really nice looking, like, boat plane there. Inside of here looks to be like another small shack of a house, I guess. Looks really nice lit up, though. Has all the lights dangling around on it. I see a map of some sort over there. It looks kind of... I think this one's a bit newer than the one that we've been going off of, because it's showing a few extra regions. This one is from January of 2003. I believe the one we have is 2002? Something along those lines. But you can kind of see with this map, which I've never actually seen that version before, but it's showing a little bit of how things have kind of expanded off from the key shape design that originally was with the 16. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take a look at the Varney Gardens. Got some pinwheels on the hill here. Go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Go ahead and end that session. And we can kind of see up from the hillside here, the surrounding area. Let's cam from where you're probably supposed to look at them from the other side of the hill here, yeah. Looks really nice with all the flowers covering the landscape here. We got this right here. Pretty nice to look at, and it's probably fairly old. Looks like somebody was tending to getting apples from the trees. And you can kind of see that this area is pretty well made, because there's actually like boardwalks and whatnot all around the garden area. And somebody took the time to detail this little area out, so it's really using essentially the maximum amount of detail it can, pretty much. Boardwalk, and of course we have a 7 Seas vendor here, which I have to probably try this one day. Like, I want to eventually try all these Second Life, like, game things. Like, this area right here is kind of more of a... I'd call it more of a fantasy sort of little area here compared to the rest of the gardens that I've seen. Because where we came from the front, it was regular, and now we're having a lot more glowy and other things here. We got a barrel down here and a little circle. And this kind of looks like a really old boat that's been taken over by mushrooms, which is actually pretty neat. Let me go ahead and head up the pathway here, because there is actually a pathway to take through here and get up to this shack here. There's also another pathway by the entrance side that I haven't taken, but I'll get there in a second. This, I believe, is actually part of the gardens that you can go into, I assume. Because it looks like yeah, it looks like a small welcome spot or something like that, or something along those lines. See a book vendor here. Giant snail racing. Should probably cover that sim at some point. Got the watermelon that's apparently just you put a faucet in it and it's good to go. Another bird fountain. This one has a moth in it as well. Got a little bit of a spray going on there. Alright, let's go ahead and take our other pathway here. And this leads to a campfire of sorts, apparently. So this is a nice little spot to be able to just sit around in as well. Like, I really like this little spot here. I wasn't expecting this to be so well detailed as it is. Got a little tent here to sleep in as well. So now we're getting to the outers here, and it kind of looks a little bit weird to be able to just go from forest to nothingness on the outside like that. But in any case, that is Varney. We're back where we started. I would definitely say come and visit the gardens. I think that's the best thing about this region at the moment. Hopefully I'll fill out more, and I'll see you guys next time for our final region.